Hello, this is Aether Zayana Ara. It's Tuesday, November 26, 2024. It is currently 12:39 a.m. I wanted to do a video on some frustrations that I'm having, which is a humanitarian crisis that I'm currently living in. But before I start speaking, I would like to mention that I have various wealth-based assets that are acknowledged by the High Military of King Samicon the 12th of the U.S. Navy of Norfolk. And some of those wealth-based assets include the New York Stock Exchange, as well as vineyards, beef-producing farms, milk-producing farms, and as well as a minimum of $1 trillion in real estate equity in the state of California, as well as my $1 trillion corporation, I Am God Code. And I also thought that I would mention some of my operating inheritances, such as my certified trillionaire inheritances that I have as the Princess of Iran early on in my infancy, and which are operating to this day, which are some business investments that I have, among other things. If you would like to learn more about what I've been doing with my time, including feeding over 50 million people and trying to further clean water infrastructure in the United States of America, please log on to Twitter on x.com/AETHYRSARA, and you will see a live URL link to an older version of my blog, and you can see some of my autobiographical and biographical content on what my achievements are financially and educationally and academically and socially. So I just thought that I would discuss how humiliated I am by the fact that Ukrainian scientists have decided to use an individual's body that is an upbringing relative in my family. They have used his body as an experimental instrument, and at least one of his children. And they are used as giant bodies to mass genocide illegally and to mass murder. And I'm not going to say any names, but you can, since my saying names is a ready challenge for those that have no documentation and feel that they don't need any. But you can log on to AI records, which are the artificial intelligence records, and see how mass genocide occurs pretty much in any location where I live, no matter what I do, no matter what is in my name financially, no matter the fact that I'm never a felon at any point, or a grotesque criminal of any kind. I had to witness at least several of my infants that were conceived naturally through my own consent and involvement with men that are legally involved with me as husbands. And my infants were kidnapped from my womb by potentially Ukrainian scientists, because the Ukrainian scientists are the ones that own the African American bodies that they killed or that they used for experimentation. And that's not their only means of illegally mass genociding my DNA line, but just reaching into my pregnant womb and killing my infant, and cutting his ears off and cutting his arms off and cutting his legs off and stealing his torso and expanding it, and lying on me, lying about what my achievements are, and stealing it so that you can reach into my vagina and into my cervix and into other parts of my body and my reproductive system and in my anus and try to own it. Is it just Ukrainian scientists that I know are involved in that? No. One of Polish descent, I don't know if she's Ukrainian related or not, but her name is Auntie Hubel. And I met her long ago through Youth for Understanding International Exchange, where I briefly lived in Montevideo, Uruguay. Not Montevideo, Uruguay, but in Uruguay, period. And she, has since inducted me illegally into being a wild animal for her. And she is unfamiliar with my wealth-based status and accoutrements, but when she comes across them in documentation, she tries to erase them and turn me into someone that is of no benefit to her, like a crack child or something like that. And she has since tried to own whatever that I own by saying that she cloned me. Well, even if she did, okay, so she did. But the body that I have now isn't the one that is a production of that clone, okay, of the clone she made. Second of all, she did it illegally. She had no real power of attorney and cloned me, okay, and stole my body from Istanbul, Turkey, is what Antje did. And since she has done that, she has tried pretty much anything. I'm Holocaustal because she stole my necrotic body from Turkey. And I'm a certified trillionaire at birth on national television with operating business investments that are from my infancy and from my toddlerhood to this day that I have lived on and that I've owned, and where I've been involved in certain business affairs no matter what you thought I had, visibly. And I just, I'm disturbed with how people think that stealing from the mail, or by killing Indians, or by murdering my infants, or by killing my children, or by, stealing from individuals that you think I'm related to. That's all a means of stealing DNA and getting away with mass genocide, illegal mass genocide, illegal mass murder. And they're also subjecting me to having to listen to infants of my own and toddlers of my own that were in my AI implant with miter shrinkage. Okay, I wasn't in on that. I told individuals, in the higher military of King Summit College 12 of the U.S. Navy of Norfolk to stop putting the toddlers and the infants in the AI implant since it was deadly. And people just hop into the AI implant with miter shrinkage, chemical absorption, and rape the children and the infants to death and murder them and talk about how they believe, they can oppress me for whatever reason. Now, people are saying, oh, well, you're going through euthanasia. Well, I'm not going through common law euthanasia for two reasons. First of all, it's outlawed by the higher military of King Summit the 12th of the U.S. Navy of Norfolk with I'm God Code Corporation as consultant. Second of all, I have live euthanasia orders for other individuals that thought they could serve me a euthanasia order. Their euthanasia order numbers are live. You were serving them. Back out of my life immediately. Those euthanasia orders are live on Twitter as we speak with the approval of the Navy. So I would move on from my reproductive system, from my cervix, move on from my genetic DNA, which you tried to steal. You saw that my eyes were blue naturally and tried to criticize it, but then you don't know who I am genetically. You just steal blue eyes. You see blue eyes and you figure you should steal my DNA and turn me into whoever you are genetically without asking me. And that's pretty much deadly because I'm organically Germanic. Okay, I'm organically white Germanic. Okay, I'm organically that. So yanking it out because you see blue eyes and you don't understand why they're there in a natural way is deadly to me. It's really deadly to me. And I see the effects. And I would like you to return my DNA since you have illegally qualified me for mass genocide and for illegal experimentation. And I wish that my children that were murdered, they say euthanized. It's not euthanasia. Based on my being in innocence and you lying in my records. Please clone my children immediately with one of my accounts since at least 19 of them were murdered. and that's an AI record. Thank you very much. This is I Am God Co Corporation. Thank you.